One note before I begin. A few weeks ago I learned that the subject of video 6 was recently stricken with health problems. I recorded video 6 in August before I knew about that. I've decided to release that video without changes. To make these videos required me to share with you some pretty personal and private information. If there is one thing, though, that we've learned from the scriptures, and that is that privacy isn't as important as the truth, and this is a truth project. Let's briefly summarize what we've covered in this series. In video 2, I showed you how my enemies' accusations about absconding with $40-some thousand just prior to the divorce was a lie. In video 3, I proved that the accusation that I removed my ex's name from a joint account was also a lie, but that lie benefited my ex by providing her tens of thousands of dollars in loans and gifts. In video 4, we examined Annette Nikora's accusation that I attempted to steal money from my ex by trying to get her to sign a form. And I suggested that Nanette deceived the brethren in order to prevent me from clearing my name. In video 5, I addressed the accusation that I tried to run my ex out of money and showed how the opposite was actually true. I also discussed how Bible students enabled and encouraged my ex to maliciously run up my legal fees. In video 6, we looked at Michael Nikora's email and showed how his reaction to some lies he was told exposed a serious lack of spiritual maturity. In video 7, we looked at the accusation that I failed to provide for my own, according to 1 Timothy 5:8, and I showed that that was not true and suggested that Bible students misapplied a scripture in order to justify their own bad behavior. Each and every accusation against me is 100% false. And this is just a small sampling of the false accusations I've had to contend with. The accusations were promoted and spread by respected Bible students. Being slow to judge and being careful in your thinking can help make you wise. Recall how Solomon determined which mom the disputed baby belonged to? He only needed to answer one question. Which parent loves the child? Since so many of the accusations against me had a custody battle as its backdrop, you can apply Solomon's wisdom here as well. As many know, in 2009, my ex decided to move to Washington. Why? Because she needed treatment for cancer? No, she provided proof that she was cured of it. Was she broke and could not afford to put a roof over her head? No, she testified at the trial that she still had $50,000 left from the $340,000 in cash that she got from the divorce. In fact, all the answers she gave for moving added up to nothing. But one thing was clear. She certainly wasn't moving for the benefit of her child. So what did my ex do when the court denied her request for our child to move away? My ex moved anyway. She abandoned her child in favor of working for and dating a man in Washington. How does that affect a 10-year-old child to have their mom choose a man over them? It's traumatic, devastating, and undermines their sense of self-worth. After all, a child wonders why they weren't good enough for their mom to stay. My ex tried twice to remove our daughter from my life. Why? Is it because she thinks I'm a bad father? No. She knows that's not true. But you get something when you remove your children from their dad, and it's called child support. It's money. Do you see a common thread running through this series of videos? It's money. My ex loves money, and the love of money is the root to all kinds of evil. When you love money, you will lie about money. You will falsely accuse honest people. You will lie to a court and steal what is not yours, and you will even abandon your own child. My ex's unprincipled behavior is a ramification of her traumatic childhood. She can't help herself. It's just who she is. But what I've observed that is so significant to me is just how unprincipled the people are around her. The Nicoras, Moras, Parkinsons, Thutkas, and others had every opportunity to know the truth, but chose to embrace and spread slanderous lies. And as the circle of Bible students gets bigger, it's no better. Further, I asked the elders in Los Angeles to stand up and investigate the lies. However, they chose instead to protect the liars from being exposed. I reached out to other elders in every corner of the United States, and they too wanted nothing to do with the truth. The Bible students today are a generation lacking the love for truth. Today, exhibiting a pious demeanor is valued more than genuine character. If you display an acceptable attitude, that constitutes righteousness. Slandering someone in a calm voice is acceptable. Proclaiming the truth with indignation is not. Not everyone shares this spirit, but by the most part, the hunger for truth, honesty, and a fellowship based upon the principles of righteousness, where the innocent are safe, are gone. In the 5th chapter of 1 Corinthians, it was a chapter that was understood a century ago, and it was applied. Today, it's ignored. It talks about putting people out of your fellowship whose behavior is unacceptable, and the slander is listed right there in verse 11. Before I end, I want to mention 3 names who stuck by me. Robert Brand was a tireless peacemaker and was reviled for it. David Rice genuinely stuck by me and exhibited courage going up against the Nicoras and others. And at the top of my list is Nancy Clayton. She did the most thorough investigation and reporting of the facts. The reward for her doing the right thing was fiery persecution from my ex's supporters. There are good people among the Bible students, but they are the exception, I'm afraid. I plan to do 2 or 3 more series of these videos. In those, I will share with you the more dramatic and malicious evidence I have. You'll read a letter by a brother who threatened he would help my ex abduct our daughter out of the country. You'll read threats by Boone Mora. I'll document lies told by Peter Mora, Nanette Nicora, and others in an effort to help my ex secure custody in 2004. I'll document the lies various brethren such as Spigrugin told to a custody evaluator in 2009. You'll read other emails from other brethren that will shock you. And each and every one of these individuals are in good standing today. They exhibit the right demeanor to fit right in. As an eyewitness, I've seen enough. After looking so closely at the spirit, values, and ethics of the first generation of Bible students, the Lord gave me a front row seat to watch as He tested this generation. The contrast between then and now is unmistakable. This generation has been weighed in the balance and found wanting. This is my testimony. I believe that at least here in the U.S., the consecrated saints are no longer safe in the fellowship of Bible students. I have already made my decision. I invite you to consider what you've learned here and make your own. To be notified when new videos are available, click on the subscribe button and follow the instructions. This concludes this series of videos. Thank you for watching.